So it's been a while since we spoke about the gym bro side of TikTok, but today we have a situation that when I saw it, it completely baffled me. I don't know what this guy was thinking, and yeah, of course, it's resulted in a lot of response videos that we'll get to later on in the video. So to add some context to the situation, the person you'd be aware of here is actually Ben Barker Fitness, which is this person right here, with 230,000 followers on Instagram and also 120,000 followers on TikTok. He basically has like your classic fitness account, as you can see here. He has these videos of like his workouts and whatnot. There's this one, Dear Cancel Culture, which we'll get to later. He also sells some products, which are very interesting. Of course, he has like his workout routine and all that stuff, but he also has like a t-shirt here that says Neighborhood Alpha on it, and then he also sells the Alpha Dad Workout Plan, which is an 8-week workout guide for becoming the strongest, fastest, and most jacked dad on your blog. Yeah, it seems like his whole branding is like becoming like the Alpha Dad. That's what he kind of like strives to aim for. That's kind of like his whole marketing strategy, I guess. And to be honest, he should have stuck with this marketing strategy. It's a lot better than what he then goes on to do. And of course, everyone is aware of the hurricanes in Florida right now, Hurricane Milton. Well, this guy decided to take advantage of that because he decided to make this post across multiple social medias where he has said, "Dads, make sure you're never the guy carrying the shoes. This is why we must lift weights." And he's got this picture from a hurricane. Turns out it's not even the hurricane that is happening right now, Hurricane Milton, but it's this dad who's carrying a bunch of their belongings. There's the wife with her kid, and then there's this guy who I now know is a police SWAT officer who is carrying the wife and the kid, and he is just, for some reason, trying to embarrass this family, specifically the dad in the situation. A family, by the way, that were affected by a hurricane and were homeless because of this hurricane. As we can also see, he adds on this bit that says, "Start training today with your free 7-day trial to my workout subscription, benbarkerfitness.com. Yes, he literally used a hurricane to promote his fitness workout subscription. I mean, what were you thinking, mate? You know, most people wouldn't see a devastating situation like this as a way to make money off it, but Ben Barker Fitness clearly does things differently. Now on Instagram, he posted this as like a slideshow thing that you can do on Instagram. The second slide was this one: "Start training today with your free 7-day trial to my workout subscription," with his website with like a big picture of him doing some sprints by the looks of it. He then went and wrote a caption on this post that says, "Dads, refer to Neighborhood Alpha Dad rule number 1, stay ready." What the fuck does that mean? Neighborhood Alpha Dad rule number 1. Yeah, okay, so this is obviously something from his book, and basically, is he trying to say, like, if these people read his book, they'd be fine in the hurricane? Like, what are you trying to say here? And even on top of that, as we can see by the screenshot, he hashtagged funny reels. Apparently, this is a funny situation. Yeah, there's a lot of things that this guy did in this situation that I just don't understand. Now, at this point, a lot of people have spoke about this on TikTok. A lot of other, like, fitness influencers have spoke about this situation. There was this video by Ben Carpenter, and as you can see, he says, "This image is from 2017, and he goes on to show that this image isn't actually from Hurricane Milton. And it turns out he's absolutely correct. There's this article here on the Dallas Morning News where it says, "This Texas mum and sleeping baby became the faces of Hurricane Harvey. Now what? This is in 2017. And the article goes on further to say that 2 photojournalists took these pictures, asked her name, she provided it, and then got back to figuring out what her and her husband should do now that they were newly homeless." These are the people that this guy has tried to, like, embarrass and belittle. As you can see, here's a picture of the family too, after this all happened, with their belongings all in bags, just things ruined from the hurricane. And as I mentioned earlier, the guy that's carrying the wife and the daughter is actually a police SWAT officer named Daryl Hudek, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and it says, "who carried fam and her son, also became a symbol of heroism of rescuers, as he should." But that in no way belittles the dad in this situation. I mean, we can see by the picture, even though it's cut off, weirdly enough, he's carrying massive bags, probably got the clothes, food, anything that they need to survive now that they are literally homeless and their house is being destroyed. And actually, just as well on the topic of this SWAT officer, Daryl Hudek, it even goes on further to say that the reporters called him and he didn't return the calls. His father said he wasn't interested in publicity. This is just a guy who wanted to help and did an amazing thing. The article then goes on even further and says the storm was particularly distressing for the couple. They had family, friends, and memories all over the southeastern Texas area that Harvey ravaged. And then it even goes on to mention the negativity from this picture, even back in 2017. It seems like, unfortunately, they've had to deal with negativity around this picture since it happened. Of course, the reaction wasn't all positive. As with anything on the internet, there were some who found ways to troll. They criticized fam's outfit. Why was she wearing fancy designer boots? She says they were cheap. What is the... I don't understand. Like, what is that for, like, a criticism, I guess. Why wasn't her husband the one carrying her? He was hauling their bags filled with cloves and milk. So that's a correction right there. But look, as we've established, the original post is ridiculous and it's actually very insensitive, and I don't get why he's trying to like embarrass and belittle people who had to deal with something like this. And on top of that, he's trying to use like current events that happen in the world where other families going through something absolutely horrific as a way to promote his fitness program. There is just so many things wrong with this, and like I said, a bunch of people have spoke about the situation. Now there's this one by a TikTok called Don Martin, whose TikTok was the one where I saw this originally, where some of the screenshots at the beginning of like the post were from, because the post has now been deleted. But either way, this is what he had to say in the video.
This is a message for Joey Swoll. Now, I realize that I am not normally the kind of person that tries to summon fitness talk, but I think Joey Swoll needs to do us all a favor and ruin this guy's career. So this is somebody named Ben Barker who decided to post this photo of this person who I believe had spent quite a lot of time rowing his family to safety after the hurricane hit recently.
Yeah, so when he posted the original video, he didn't know the backstory of the picture. He then does go and correct himself later on in a different video, but he thought this was like a recent picture.
And Ben used this photo of a rescue worker who was sent there to help these people, carrying who I believe is this person's wife and child, while this person is obviously carrying all of the rest of their bags. And Ben here says, "Dads, make sure you're never the guy carrying the shoes. This is why we must lift weights."
I mean, even the way that he says, oh, don't be the guy just carrying the shoes, already just ignoring the fact that he's carrying the bags and their belongings. He really tried to belittle this guy and downplay even what he was doing. Like, oh, he's just carrying shoes. You don't want to be that guy.
Same post on the same slide says, "Start training today with a free 7-day trial to my workout subscription." I have a lot of anger and rage about this post, because using a tragedy to promote your fitness brand while shaming a father, while shaming a person for not being, in your eyes, physically fit enough because you see him carrying shoes, ignoring the bag that he's carrying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Shaming somebody who is living through a horrific tragedy in order to gain clout and clients. I don't know how much I believe in hell, but I think that very specific combination of things should qualify you for one of the levels. Just like a very special level of hell just for you, Ben Barker. You're a bad person. I hope you lose your business and all of your clients and you never work again. Thank you, goodbye.
I mean, clearly a very strong-worded video, and I mean, I get his anger. Like, the fact that Ben decided that would be a good post to promote his business. It's disgusting. Now, of course, as you can imagine, Ben wasn't very happy with this video, and he seemingly tried to take it down. As you can see, the video was actually taken down originally. This is Don's video that we're talking about here, and it was taken down for harassment and bullying. I don't know if there's any, like, concrete proof that it was Ben that tried to take this video down. Don clearly thinks it was him, as he says in the video, and I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. Like, why else would anyone else want to take it down? But as we can also see here, Don submitted an appeal and the content was restored and it's back up, hence why I can see it now. But now we actually have a couple of videos from Ben Barker himself, who has addressed this multiple times. This is the first video that he posted on the situation.
By now, I think everybody has seen that meme that I posted this morning.
That meme, it's just a meme, you know? It's a family that were left homeless after a natural disaster, but it's still just a meme.
I did take that post down because I made two main mistakes today. Mistake number one was not taking into consideration all the people that have been affected by Helene and Milton, and I am sorry for that.
Why would you not take that into consideration originally? I get, like, he's now saying, like, oh, I should have took a consideration in that, but isn't that obvious? It just seems like a very strange mistake that you can make, you know? Like, as a fully grown adult, there probably shouldn't be a time where you think, oh, let's make fun of these people who are suffering from a natural disaster, and there won't be any consequence from that. That's not wrong at all, is it?
Two, I'm sorry to the dad in the photo. I didn't know all that you'd been through.
What do you mean you didn't know what he's been through? Like, even without the, like, specific context of what natural disaster it was and at what time frame it was, you can see something bad is clearly happened by the picture. You know, you can see the floods, someone's having to be carried away, their kid is there, the dad's carrying stuff. Clearly something bad has happened, even without the context.
I shouldn't have shown you in a negative light. My ultimate goal is to encourage dads to win in their faith, family, and fitness, and that post was an epic fail in that regard today.
Oh, that's it. That just gets cut off there. It feels like he was going on to say something else, but And that got cut off, and that was on his page, by the way. That's not like a re-upload where someone's cut it off. That's how his video is. But yeah, either way, he's addressed it. He said it was wrong, which it was, so that's good that he has addressed it. And yeah, just a 30-second video of it being an epic fail, as he says. Now, Ben did go on to post a second video. This is a longer video this time. It's actually double the length of the original video, but this time he's not kind of addressing like the family of who he tried to belittle. He's talking about cancel culture.
Buckle up, because I'm about to preach for a minute. I find cancel culture online really interesting. Someone makes a mistake, and the first inclination is to spew hate rather than correcting and uplifting, especially if the guilty party has made an attempt to take the proper steps. There will be more people after me who will make a mistake and get torn down for that. Cancel culture, I ask you this, why not correct and then uplift rather than simply using it as an opportunity to spew hate? Remember, darkness doesn't drive out darkness, only light.
Okay, so basically, he's more pissed off at the fact that people had a problem with the thing he posted than him actually posting the thing in the first place. I mean, he can call it cancel culture all he wants, but he did make a post belittling people who had been through a natural disaster as a way to promote his business, and is basically using a current natural disaster as a way to do that as well, because he didn't add the context of the picture. So of course, without the context, like, no, we're not going to be stupid here, right? Without the context, he is clearly trying to use the current natural disaster, the current hurricanes happening in Florida, as a way to promote his business. But because people had a problem with the fact he posted that, that's now cancel culture, and he has a problem with that. Seems a bit bizarre to me.
Now for the good stuff. There are a lot of eyes on my content right now that normally would never see it, and I'd like to use that for an opportunity to do some good if you'll allow me. In 1 Timothy 1:15, Paul said, Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am the worst. I, Ben Barker, am of the worst. I wasn't willing to die on the hill for that post that I made. I shouldn't have used a tragedy to try to get my point across. That was a mistake.
It was. And I'm glad that he at least addressed that, right? He didn't double down on it, which is good.
Men are meant to be spiritually, mentally, and physically strong for their families. And I will burn any tiny amount of success I've seen online down to the ground on this hill. Jesus is real. He will forgive. He died to save you. And I dare you to seek him out.
Okay, well, that's the second video that Ben uploaded. That's all the times that he's addressed this from what I can see. Don actually made a response to this here, where he goes on to say a few things. First of all, mentions the fact that he saw the apology and also saw, like, the follow-up video.
Hi, Ben. Don here. I'm sure you're real tired of seeing me, and I'm sure that you have cussed my name a few times in your house in the last few days. I just wanted to say publicly, I've seen your shirtless apology video. I've seen your follow-up video that you made lamenting cancel culture, where you preached at your audience, read some Bible verses, and then quoted Martin Luther King Jr. I guess you think y'all are alike or something. I'm not really sure what that was about. I just want to tell you, like I told you in my comments when you came into my comment section and invited me onto your podcast so that we could hash this out.
Yeah, that's a pretty strange way of going about it. You're being accused of using a natural disaster as a way to promote your business and make money, and now you want to also speak about that on your podcast where you make money. Probably not the best route to go down.
This has really been this like sudden, like, change of heart overnight. Oh my gosh, I must change my ways moment. I don't think that growth that you need to do is going to happen publicly in front of an audience on your monetized platform.
Don then goes on to say that this guy knew what he was doing when he made the post.
You're not brand new to social media. You have a very large platform, so you know how all of this works. You knew what you were doing. Also, a grown adult. I mean, with a fully formed frontal lobe, like, you are in full capacity of your decision-making capabilities. And I believe that people can change as adults. I really do. I have changed myself many times, but I also know, because I've done that it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen in front of an audience and on your monetized podcast or your social media platform.
He then goes on to say that he's not going to go on his podcast, but he hopes that he grows from this.
It's not my job to handhold you. I'm not going to come on your podcast and, like, hash it out or whatever. I don't know what that would serve. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your friend. Do hope that this could be a real, I mean, you could have a platform that combats toxic masculinity. You could be that role model to other people that want to be like good dads and good fathers and good providers and good community members. You really could. This trajectory, though, where we're quoting Martin Luther King while also claiming that you're a cis-het white male, a horrible victim of cancel culture, just like Martin Luther King. Log off, bud. Log off. Log off. Thank you. Goodbye.
And yeah, that seems to be the situation until now. This most recent video was posted 21 hours ago. I haven't seen anything since. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video. But like I said, that's everything, so I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy, please do a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.